And this next fight, we got Abdul Razak Alhassan taking on Cody Brundage. And kind of a battle of two flakes. I mean, Abdul Razak Alhassan and Brundage are both showing some flashy finishes, but extremely inconsistent fighters overall. Brundage has 4 wins, 5 losses. Alhassan is 6-6 in the UFC. So similar UFC records. And they've been able to finish low-level competition, but when they've been given steps up, they've taken the loss. Alhassan lost a lot of his career due to those allegations, and now he's 38 years old, so he doesn't have a ton of time left. Has to rebuild after that loss to Joe Pyfer in October. And Piper's obviously a bad mother, so it isn't a bad loss. If you look at all of Alhassan's losses, the worst guy he's lost to is probably Munir Lazez, and the majority of his losses were against top 15 opponents. Cody Brundage, he had a 2-fight winning streak going into his last fight against Bo Nickel, but kind of got dominated, submitted in the second round. Before that, he had a really big win where he got a knockout slam KO over Zach Reese, probably the best win in his UFC career. All 4 of the times that Brundage has gotten his hand raised in the UFC, they've been in the first round, and it seems like if he can't get the finish early, he falters mentally and just checks out of the fight. For Abdul Razak Alhassan, super powerful guy, explosive, dangerous. 11 of his 12 wins are first-round finishes. And he brings methodical pressure on the feet. He slowly walks fighters down. He tries to cut the cage off. He'll land that power right hand. He has one-punch knockout power. And when he explodes and goes, it's dangerous. But he'll mainly only throw the rear overhand cross or lead hook. He did land a head kick onto Chirico, but isn't a super big kicker. His calf kicks are okay. Alhassan can't fight while moving backwards, really. All he tends to do is shell up and then try to time a wild counter. He is willing to sit in the pocket and exchange, and normally when fighters go that route against him, they get knocked out. He's durable. He's only been finished with strikes 1 time, but doesn't do a great job versus guys who are fast, who can close the distance quickly and be in and out. He's kind of heavy on his lead leg, so you can get leg kick him. But the majority of his losses have came against guys that have wrestled him. His wrestling has looked solid recently, though. In his fight with Joaquin Buckley, he was able to stand up pretty quickly the times he was taken down. He even reversed, got some judo trips. He controlled and won the 3rd round against Buckley with his wrestling and grappling. In his fight with Claudio Ribeiro, he controlled Ribeiro in the clinch for most of the first round. And even in his last fight, Pyfer eventually took him down and submitted him, but he did decent in the grappling exchanges in the early going. Cardio-wise, it seems like Alhassan has gotten a little bit better at pacing himself, and his cardio is better at 185 than it was at 170. He also trains at elevation fight teams, so should be prepared for the elevation. And Brundage isn't someone that's going to push a pace, really, so I don't know if he's going to gas out if it goes longer, but Cody Brundage is a fighter who's talented, but not a great fighter under the lights, it seems. It looks like he has potential. You could see it in his movements that he's athletic. He has good footwork. He's powerful. He's fast. He's explosive. His wrestling is on point also. But he tries to get out of there as fast as possible and will jump guillotines and go for these finishes that are really low percentage. And once he's on bottom, he just lays there. He doesn't try to get up. He's just trying to not take damage. He has a chance early against anyone on the feet to just catch them with something wild because he's explosive. But obviously that's not very likely. And Alhassan over 15 minutes is a better striker. He's more durable, composed. Brundage is faster, has more tools, but it doesn't really matter. Brundage, I don't see getting a quick submission here or just running over Alhassan easily. His cardio I don't think is bad. It's just he doesn't... if he doesn't get guys out of there early, he just goes into a defensive shell. And I think Brundage could get takedowns here, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to finish Alhassan, and I doubt he can hold him down for 3 rounds. Eventually, he's going to make a mistake, end up on his back. And I think Alhassan is the rightful favorite here. Brundage maybe one day shows up and finally fights his potential, or maybe Alhassan comes in here looking old at 38. But I think Alhassan's pressure going forward and ability to be more composed standing, along with get back up once he's taken down and even take down Brundage with some of his judo, will be able to find him the finish eventually, either whether he gets on top or he ends it standing. I think Alhassan is going to get the win. I feel like he's going to have the cardio edge in terms of, maybe not even cardio edge, but I think he's going to do more as the fight goes on and have more outputs. And I'll say Alhassan wins in round 2 or round 3 via finish.